Trisha Paytas has entered the chat, y'all. Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Chanel. If you have not watched my last video, I recommend clicking off this video right now and going over to that video for more context, but I'll give y'all a too long didn't watch summary right here. Allegations about Colleen Ballinger being a groomer surfaced in 2020 when Adam McIntyre and a couple of her former fans came out and exposed that she was, as a grown adult woman, was acting very strange with minors. She was in group chats with them, talking about adult themes, complaining about her husband at the time, Joshua, making inappropriate jokes that were definitely too adult for her fan base, because her fan base consisted mostly of children. And in 2023, those allegations resurfaced, and Colleen, in a fit of rage, uploaded her iconic ukulele video. Now, flash forward to 2025, Raven Simone.
Yeah, yep, that's me.
She guested Colleen Ballinger on a podcast where her and her wife were talking about all of the allegations again and Colleen's cancellation. And the podcast was not well received by the masses because Raven and her wife Miranda did not do enough research on Colleen and the actual allegations about her being a groomer, leading to a lot more backlash from the public towards Colleen and now also Raven and her wife Miranda. I wanted to start off this video by first talking about some really key points that I missed in my previous video. There were so many details that I forgot about how bad the allegations were against Colleen, and we definitely need to talk about that before we move on. The reason I remember this is because Trisha Paytas just released a new episode of her podcast. God, it's always having to do with the podcast. What is up with all of these podcasts? First it's Ned, and now it's Raven and Colleen. Now we got Trisha. Ooh, you know what? Ned should have Colleen on his next episode of Rock Bottom. That's actually the perfect collab for him. Love that. Okay, so Trisha came out with a podcast episode either today or yesterday, can't remember, pretty recent though. And in this podcast, she is talking about the Colleen situation and Colleen's appearance on Raven's podcast. So when Trisha started talking about her relationship with Colleen, I started having so many flashbacks back to 2023 when those allegations first surfaced. I cannot believe I forgot how horrible Colleen was to Trisha and how absolutely disgusting she was at that time. And I do want to preface by saying I am not a fan of Trisha, especially considering her support for Trisha has done plenty of bad things, and to me, those things are still unforgivable, and I don't think she's ever actually come out and apologized about it. But I will say, in this podcast episode, she was talking some sense. Woof, sorry, I'm all over the place today. Okay, so flashback to 2023, Colleen had a chat with her fans. I think it was called Colleenie's Weenies. It was something stupid like that. And many members in that chat, I feel like I want to say all, but I'm not entirely sure if all of them were underage, but many of them were underage, and that included Adam McIntyre and another girl who came out with allegations against Colleen, Becky. To be honest, the only one I'm really familiar with is Adam, and I vaguely remember Becky rescinding all of her allegations. I don't know, that's besides the point. The point is that there was a chat that Colleen had that she would talk to all of her fans in, and many of those fans in that chat were underage. And in this chat, she would talk a lot about adult themes, some things that were just not appropriate as a 29, 30-year-old woman in a chat full of underage fans. So as soon as I saw Trisha Paytas' video pop up on my recommended, I was like, oh my gosh, how could I have forgotten what happened between them two? Colleen and Trisha were publicly friends. I think they had collabed together a couple times, and they were about to have a podcast together before all of these allegations came out. But the internet finds out that Colleen was sending Trisha's OF content to her child fans and body shaming her, making fun of her body. It's just weird ass behavior. And then when Trisha heard about this, she went and confronted Colleen about it, but Colleen vehemently denied those claims. But sure enough, proof resurfaced that Colleen in fact was actually doing that. And of course, Trisha felt extremely betrayed. So first off, you are going to pretend to be friends with this person, send her OF intimate adult content to children, make fun of her body, and then go around and start a podcast with her. You have to be a special f***ed up person to do shit like that. That is mean girl behavior to a T. And if you want my analysis about it, I really do believe that Colleen is just a deeply insecure person. And she really fed off of having this chat with her fans because, of course, they were children who were fans of her and adored her. And that just boosted her ego. She thought she was queen of the world, completely untouchable. She could do no wrong. And I know that there has been a lot of debate about if she actually is a groomer or not. And I would have to say there is no debate. And someone in my previous video did post a comment under that video saying that Colleen was dictionary definition a groomer, and I have to fully agree with that. She used her position of power to manipulate children so that they would act in a way that was to her advantage. That is what grooming is. She was an adult, she should have known better, and I do believe that she deserved everything that happened to her. She deserved to lose her Netflix show, she deserved to lose her career, she deserved to lose her Broadway roles. Because that behavior is just completely intolerable, and it makes me so angry that she used her position of power to manipulate people. And it gets worse from here. Because I also forgot to mention in my last video that in 2020, when Adam came out with his allegations against Colleen, he also shared that Colleen had basically hired him as her social media manager, and he was posting on her Twitter, I think, something like that, without actually paying him. So she was exploiting children, not paying them for their labor. Gross. But wait, I'm not done yet. After Adam released his first video in 2020, Colleen came out and basically started an entire hate campaign against him. She asked the Weenies chat for tea on Adam to see if she could take him down, basically, to prove that he was lying. He was not lying, by the way. She basically smeared his name publicly, and he was only 20 at the time, I think. He was definitely young. And so it's gross that first she groomed him. Then when he comes out and exposes her, she comes out, again, she is the adult here, the one with power, but she comes out and tries to absolutely annihilate him and sent so much hate his way for 2 years until he was finally vindicated in 2023 when more proof came out. And so not only that, but also she consistently brings up this cancellation. She continues to talk about how everyone was lying about her. None of the things that everyone was saying about her were true. She was not a groomer. That's just categorically untrue. Because there is so much proof out there that proves she was acting this way and that she was exploiting her fans. And then the fact that she keeps bringing it up, and I will say that Moses brought this up in Trisha's podcast. Moses is Trisha's husband. But he said that it's insane that she keeps bringing it up and re-traumatizes the people she groomed again and again every time she talks about it. Colleen doesn't care about anyone else. I firmly believe that she is not sorry for what she did, and I also firmly believe that she doesn't believe how she acted was wrong. She views herself as the perpetual victim when there is a mountain of evidence to prove otherwise. No, I really do believe that the only thing that she is sorry for is that her career was destroyed. And I think that's the only thing she cares about. I think she's mad that she no longer has that spotlight, the attention that she once had. I think she's mad that other people don't like her. I think she just has this absolute need for other people to see her in a good light. And the more she fights it, the worse it keeps getting. For real, it is time to pack up. You had your chance. You're just continuing to embarrass yourself at this point. Pack it up, girly. Take it somewhere else, because we're tired. Ooh, I feel so passionately angry about this. And I'm glad that I had the chance to get this off my chest. Sorry that there are not a lot of visuals in this video to make it look interesting. I just want to get my thoughts out there as quickly as possible because I'm going stir crazy just thinking about everything, and I just need to get my thoughts out into the world. Okay, I think it's time for me to pack it up now. Thank you all again so much for watching. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this whole situation. Are you as angry as I am? Did you also forget all the crazy things that happened? Or is it just me over here in this little dumbass island? Please make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts down below. If you have any video suggestions for what I should do in the future, I am very curious to hear from you all. So please feel free to leave any suggestions on topics that you would like to hear more about in the comment section, and I will see y'all next time.